let's start with last night's game in which the Toronto Raptors, ho-hum, beat the very depleted Golden State Warriors. And I've operated under this premise for the most part, which is if the Warriors were healthy, they're the better team, the Warriors would win the championship because together, Klay, Steph, KD, Draymond, and Andre Iguodala form not a perfect team, but a close to perfect team, especially in the 2019 world in the NBA. Last night, they didn't have Kevon Looney, their starting center. They have a banged-up Andre Iguodala. Klay Thompson didn't play, and Kevin Durant didn't play. And again, I operate under the premise that if they're all healthy, then what Draymond said would in fact be true.
Not having anyone makes a difference because everyone, when you assemble a team, everyone brings something different. No one cares that guys are hurt. Everybody wants to see us lose. I'm sure people are happy they're hurt. We just got to continue to battle and win the next game, go back to Toronto, win Game 5, come back to Oracle, win Game 6, and then celebrate. Fun times ahead.
Fun times ahead. The problem with that is we assume that the superpowers of Klay Thompson will return the second he steps out in the court. We assume that the superpowers of Kevin Durant will return as soon as he steps out in the court. Any of you guys ever pulled a hamstring? Do you know what doesn't happen when you pull a hamstring? You're not fine and 100% and the same guy a week later, let alone 5 days later. And you can tell me, you understand modern medicine. Yes, I actually do understand modern medicine. Even if they were able to surgically put a new hamstring in there, you don't have 5 days for that thing to heal. Anyone who's ever pulled their hamstring knows you feel fine, you feel fine, you feel fine. Then it feels like somebody shot a BB in the back of your leg and you don't feel fine. So Klay Thompson goes from unable to run down the floor, take me out right now. I can't even hug and congratulate my teammates to 5 days later he'll be back fine. And Kevin Durant probably has a pull is it's a partial tear really of his calf muscle. Even if he returns, he's not going to be the same guy. I don't think the Raptors are better, but I think the Raptors are healthier, and that's why I think the Raptors are going to win this thing. Because you do get to that point of no return. It's not like the Raptors are going to lay down anyway. They're not going to play good basketball anyway, and they're pretty damn good. And when playing against, even if it's 75 or 80% of Klay, that's not the superpowers we came to expect. And this isn't in the olden days, first of all, Willis Reed, the whole Willis Reed story, he didn't play that well. It was an emotional game, and he came in. And back then, you could hide a big guy because he could just stand in the lane and push people when they came near him. You can't hide anybody now. That's the sport. That's why DeMarcus Cousins can't be out on the floor. You're already trying to hide Steph Curry some because he's not a great defender and you need all his energy on offense. Think you can hide Klay Thompson, who's your best on-ball defender, or hide Kevin Durant? What makes Kevin Durant special is not just that he's tall, it's that he can run, jump, move laterally, handle the basketball. All those things, you need your calf muscle to do. Oh, and you can't hide him on defense. This isn't baseball where Kirk Gibson can come limping up and hit a home run. Kirk Gibson would have to go play in the field, and in basketball, we can actually make sure we hit it to your position. I think the Raptors are going to win the championship. I don't think they're the best team. I'm not sure they're the second best team. But that doesn't matter. They're the only healthy team remaining in this thing, or healthier than the Golden State Warriors. It doesn't mean there's been any asterisk by it. There's no asterisk by the 2015 championship for the Warriors. And can we also stop with Steph couldn't do it by himself? Nobody can. Nobody can. Here's Steve Kerr talking about Steph Curry last night.
Steph was incredible. The stuff he does is he does things that honestly I don't think anybody has ever done before. The way he plays the game, the way he shoots it, and the combination of his ball handling and shooting skills, it's incredible to watch. He was amazing.
You kidding me? It was incredible to watch. Anyone who took away anything other than Steph Curry's awesome, you need to learn to get HD put into you're watching in standard def. Or you have completely unrealistic expectations for what a great player looks like. I mean, even the people are like, well, this is what LeBron was like last year. No, it wasn't. By the way, LeBron didn't win. They did get swept. Did they not? That did happen last year, didn't it? I believe it did. The year before, it was a gentleman's sweep. They won one game, gentleman's sweep. But even in those circumstances, LeBron wasn't without his starting two, his starting three, his starting center. Like, dudes are backups for a reason. And then once you get to the bench, you're like, man, I totally forgot he was even on the Warriors. You're like, wait, who is that? I saw Kevin Durant dapping guys up in the hallway after the game, and I was like, I don't even know who that is. I actually don't know who that is. Like, I'm a basketball guy. I know most everybody in the NBA. And then once I looked him up, I was like, oh yeah. That's right. Now I remember. But it took me a while. Took me a while to go, oh, that's right. They drafted Jacob Evans. I forgot. So lots of things should be put to bed after last night. We can probably, when we get into this later, stop with the Draymond and Iggy are Hall of Famers, right? Because even if you're not a Hall of Famer in terms of your production, when you have Klay and KD, you would think there'd be a little bit more production when you don't have Klay and KD. We've somehow misassociated great role player with a great team, which is a completely necessary position and role to fill with historically great player. Those two things are not one and the same. Robert Horry's not a Hall of Famer. Derek Fisher's not a Hall of Famer. They both made big plays, and championships don't happen if they're not in those situations. Steve Kerr was a great role player. He is not a Hall of Famer. Neither is Andre Iguodala. And frankly, I don't actually think empirically Draymond Green should be. But the idea that Steph somehow wasn't good enough when it's 1-on-5, and the idea that the Warriors, they're going to be fine. They're going to be fine. Klay comes back. KD comes back. Bada boom, bada bing, bada bang. Another championship. Dynasty lives on. Tell me when that's ever happened. When dudes come off of pulled muscles and they're like, no, I'm good.